Yeah, what up, what up, what up? Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all now tuned in to A Real Talk Podcast. And y'all already know it's me, Stacks with the Facts. VirgilBerry, real name. I always say that because, I'm doing this radio thing and, Stacks with the Facts is going to be my name, my radio name. But, I always get my real name out there just to let y'all know it ain't no gimmicks, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, how y'all doing today? Today is Monday, November 4th, 2019. Almost out of here, y'all. Anyway, we're going to get right into it. As y'all see what the title say. And that's a question I often wonder to myself. And I even asked on Facebook. I wonder how many of y'all know what BREXIT is. How many of y'all pay attention to the news outside of America? No, I do. And then upon hearing about BREXIT, most Americans would think, first thing they think is, well, what that got to do with what's going on over here? The plot thickens. BREXIT is the British exit of the European Union. Back in 2016, this happened like a little bit after I got out the halfway house. In 2016, the British people took a referendum vote to leave the European Union. Why are they leaving the European Union? Because the European Union is a bureaucratic oligarch ran by a whole bunch of unelected officials who they don't even know who these people are and the members of the European Union, and these people are just making all the laws and policy in their countries, taking over their infrastructure and their business and their industries. So they said, fuck that, we leaving the European Union. All this mass immigration, you know what I mean? Y'all taking away the jobs, taking away the assistance for the poor people in the country and all that. So the same stuff they about to be doing over here right now. Same stuff going on over here right now. So the British people took a vote. It was the biggest vote in British history. Landslide. 17% of the population of the United Kingdom voted. Of that 17%, of the 17%, out of all the people that voted, 17% voted to leave. And that was enough for them to decide to leave. And they've been going through this battle ever since. They extended back in 2019 and 2017, and they extended it again and all this crazy stuff. Now, a lot of y'all over here in America might be thinking, well, what the hell that got to do with what's going on over here, right? Walk with me. Like I said, the European Union is a bureaucratic, I'm going to call it what they is, a cartel, man. And then took over the British, or took over European countries, man. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. The biggest economies anyway. Y'all see what happened in Greece and what's happening in Cyprus. And they want to make an example out of the United Kingdom, which is the biggest economy in the European Union, if I'm not mistaken. And they want to make an example out of them, like nobody leaves the European Union. Like I said, y'all see what they did to Greece. And this is what they keep threatening the United Kingdom with. If they leave the European Union, they're going to get kicked out of the single market, which was a part of the deal anyway. The part of the original deal was they understood that they will be leaving the single market. And not only that, when they leave no type of deal. They talk about these deals, which with anything less than leaving the European Union is being and staying in the European Union. We got crooked politicians over here. They got them over there too. These people voted to leave. The politicians that they voted to represent them, they totally misrepresented their constituents by continuing to go along with this leave with a deal situation. When they voted to leave in 2016, having a deal or any type of contingencies that tied them any form or fashion to the European Union, that's not what they agreed to vote. That's not what they voted on. They voted to leave, full stop. Leave the European Union. We're gone. We're done. We don't need y'all. Right? And they keep threatening them with all this sanctions and stuff. You can't do that. It's the biggest economy in Europe. If the British government decides to leave the European Union, all those companies over there, all those manufacturing companies, all those car companies, all those fine food and wine companies and textile companies and fashion houses and all of that is not going to be cool with being sanctioned for doing business with the United Kingdom. They will tell them people at the European Union to kiss their ass. Because the European Union sells way more to the United Kingdom than the United Kingdom sells to the European Union. Which means that if the European Union didn't have the British economy within their control, that will also show the other European countries that, hey, well, shit, the Brits left, we might as well leave too. We tired of y'all motherfuckers coming here taking over our infrastructure, flooding our countries with immigrants, with this free movement shit they got going on, flooding all these places like London and big cities like Manchester and Liverpool and United Kingdom and elsewhere, taking over the assistance program from the poor people of these countries, and it's all designed to get us prepared for multicultural societies where we're gonna be living in a one world society. This stuff I've been talking about and stuff people been talking about forever, man. It ain't nothing new. Nothing new at all. And it's happening over here in America. With all this immigration and shit that we got going on over here. You know, they got the same stuff going over here that's going over there. You know, people being called racist because they saying something about this stuff. You know, them people over there ain't racist because they see the way they communities is changing up due to mass immigration. You got these people getting called racist because they calling out the people who from Asia. Most of them is Muslim, Pakistan, you know, places like that. They getting called racist for calling these people out for the grooming gangs they got going over there. What y'all know about the grooming gangs going on over there? Where you got these Eastern European and Asian immigrants flooding United Kingdom and other countries, you know, and then what they're doing is they're exploiting the young girls in these countries and, you know, getting them involved into the sex trade and all that stuff and human trafficking. And they getting called racist because a lot of these people are Asian, a lot of them are Muslims. So, you know, it's a lot of Muslims who aren't a part of this life, and the thing get all mixed up. Kind of like how the thing got mixed up when Trump said all the Mexicans. He wasn't talking about all Mexicans. He was talking about the criminals that come over here, just like all the mass immigration in Europe. Of course, there's a lot of people who are fleeing their countries because their countries are being torn apart by wars being led by governments like the British government and the American government. Just like in South America, Central and South America and Mexico, the same thing is going on with the American and British government, Venezuela, Colombia, Bolivia. Y'all know what's going on down there now, Chile, all that stuff. About to have the same thing going over here. Mass immigrants coming in, taking over all the resources from the poor people in America. We being called racist if we say something about it. You got these Democrat motherfuckers want to open up the borders and just let everybody in. What about the poor people here? What about us poor people? That's me, that's you, who need these services that all these immigrants is going to be taking over. And we're going to be called racist once we say something about it. So, I just want to give a little bit more insight and put something in perspective for y'all so y'all can have an understanding. If you hear about them talking Brexit on CNN, HLN, and all whatever mass mainstream media networks, you have a little bit of a clue of what's going on. Understand the same thing that's going on over there is going on over here simultaneously, which lets you know it's going on everywhere else, which lets you know it's a globally coordinated situation going on here. We're being preemptively programmed to live in multicultural societies where there will be no more religions, no more race as we see it or experience it now, and everybody's going to come under the rule of this one world global society where we're going to be being dictated to by central government, central bureaucratic elected people, bankers, corporation leaders and stuff like that, right? And they're going to be dictating to the whole world what the fuck we can and can't do. It all ties into the UN agenda for 2030 for global sustainability, cramming us into these smart cities, right? And that's what all this stuff with immigration and changing up the weather and all this stuff got to do is all tied in together, y'all, man. It's all linked in together. It's all UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability. So we got to be aware of this stuff, y'all. We got to make ourselves aware of this stuff. We have to inform ourselves on this stuff. We got to know what's going on, and we can't be so separated from our brothers across the seas, right? Thinking that what's going on over there in the United Kingdom don't have no effect on what's going on over here in America, when in all actuality, the exact same things that's going on over there are going on over here simultaneously. So we got to keep ourselves informed, and that's why it's up to a guy like me, Stacks with the Facts, on A Real Talk podcast, to bring y'all the insight that the mainstream media is just not going to provide you with. They ain't going to attack the challenging questions. They ain't going to do the research and get to the facts of the situation. I'm not going to tell you racist because you see that your neighborhood is changing up, or you see how things is changing up to the mass influx of immigrants coming in this country due to the wars being promulgated by our government, destroying these people's homes up, destroying their country, destroying their infrastructure, literally, physically blowing the shit up, displacing them. So you got to put it together and see how all this stuff is working in collusion. There we go with that word, collusion. Can't be keep being manipulated by this stuff, y'all. And like I say, y'all can always depend on me, Stacks with the Facts, to bring y'all the facts, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all want to get at me? Get with me on Instagram at Berry.Virgil, all lowercase letters. Get with me on Twitter at capital BERRY, the number 2, capital VIRGIL. Then you can get with me on Facebook. Just type my name in, VirgilBerry, VIRGILBERRY. You're going to see me with that Benny the Butcher fitted on. Y'all can get me on there. And if you really want to get in contact, we get with me with an email at BREXIT@yahoo.com. That's BERRY, the number 2, at yahoo.com, all lowercase letters. And, we can get into it. We got WTFR 106.9 radio coming through soon. That's my class project, the class host, Ohio Media School. We definitely in the building, about to get that thing going on. So like I always say, y'all be good to yourselves and each other, man, and don't listen and trust anything I say. Question everything you hear me say, everything you hear. Don't trust nobody information but your own. Question everything. Y'all be easy, 100.